Kia ora from Aotearoa. It's Poppy here, and we're in the second day of the DAYWAVE 146 and 8 Deer, which is all about health and healing. And this is 9 star. And 9 star is about ending all old, outmoded frequency patterns. And authentic soul star brightness frequency, but so much to do with what is healthy in our life. Like, it's actually all of this programming that's basically caused most of the sickness in humanity, the whole slavery system. So we're looking at ending old cycles and beginning new cycles. Now I want to start with the new cycle first, because it's the one where, you know, we can become truly free as the simulation is getting broken down. So we've got Earth and the human being, who is a doing and creating. That's a function that we have, with source light consciousness. And this is the true source light, the true light. Okay, and so this is like the natural, organic, self-contained being, with healthy boundaries, which we have with this toroidal field, which we can have, which strengthens all around our body, because it can be absolutely filled with source light, because we consciously fill ourselves with the true source light every day, on a regular basis, with our breath, with our being, and just by being in this unitary consciousness. It's connection, where there's freedom of movement and learning and growing naturally in observation of life, you know, like true life, the life that is around us. In truth, we are multidimensional beings. We're not just this physical form. We're not this body. We're so much more. We exist on multi-dimensions. And so many people have talked about getting in touch with your higher self and all of these sorts of things. That's just aspects of ourselves on higher dimensions, which we can actually embody and bring down, and they instruct us and guide us and keep us in a state of wonder and joy. And we are also very powerful co-creators, which is what the old system has feared the most, is that when we realize how powerful we are as co-creators, and the more that our belief opens up to that, because belief is a human condition, we have a brain, so from the human aspect, our brain is like a biocomputer which governs our health and our life and this body. And so as our belief upgrades and changes, and we enter into the higher frequencies, into the higher aspects of our being, we will find that we will be able to do a lot more. We will find that we are telepathic. I mean, I think I've been telepathic all my life, but I was in denial of it for some time, because I was told that everything I was saying and doing was wrong. It was just all part of the programming. But I'm so glad to have broken free from that now and returned to myself. We are fractals of source light. Source is within us. Our answers are within. And free will is a part of source, which is our choice. It's like, all of my life I haven't had a choice. I've been used, I've been programmed, and I have been subject, and my consciousness was taken by other things until I could reclaim myself enough. And I'm still reclaiming the last lost aspects of my being. And the more I reclaim, the stronger I become, the more balanced I become, the more harmonious I become, the more loving I become. Okay, so free will is a part of source, choosing the loving, honouring, truthful, balanced and harmonious ways of source. And this is, you know, like the star energy is authenticity. It's the unity with diversity. It's like people can have all kinds of different beliefs and we still embrace them. We still see the sentience in them. We still see the love in them. We still see the light in them, you know, like we don't just dismiss people and because our beliefs are different, and we don't punish them or torment them because our beliefs are different. Anyway, I'll get into that because that's part of the old pattern, which I'm going to cover just simply because it's awareness of what we're getting out of and what we're coming into. Okay, so there's acceptance, there's the sharing of life, the wonder, the awe of nature and creation, and dynamic movement. And honestly, we're still moving into it. I'm still moving into it. You know, I lost my way. I've been breaking down the programming. It's been a massive, massive, massive job. So, you know, in this reality, there in unitary consciousness, there's freedom. There isn't conditions. There's no limitations. There's no covenants. There's no contracts. There's no fear. There's no guilt. There is love and interconnectedness with a unified whole, and very inclusive. We become aligned and balanced, harmonizing, aware of all sentience and all things. Okay, now let's look at the old cycle, which we've been caught in, and it's been hell. I took a photo of this, but my cat walked on it and crumpled it all up. Okay, so here we go. This is the old pattern. This is the old frequencies. Okay, so it's very much like the cubic Saturn simulation. It's an entrapment. It's like being trapped in these in the cubes in Saturn's cube. It's the false light, it's death and taxes, torture, harm, all of these things in there, feeling stuck and trapped. It's actually like the slavery thing. So it was soul capture and a constant recontracting to even false heaven, false hells, and endless karmic cycles. Look, I had one near-death experience which was actually showed up like a false hell. It wasn't a nice near-death experience. It was actually extremely, yeah, it was awful. Actually, it's like it had all kinds of Masonic imagery and everything, and I do believe that it was kind of connected up because there was a lot of blood spilt in that, and it was remembrance of rituals, and it was a very desperate time in life. Anyway, so what is part of this whole thing is archons. Now, archons are rulers, okay? They're like the architects of the matrix. They are like beings. We're not saying that they're human. They're soulless entities, but a lot of people have become quite soulless as well. But there are non-humans that do walk among us, and they thrive on stolen energy that they hijack through consciousness with this whole belief structures. Now these came in the, well, through religions. Okay, so religions are conditional binding. They're imposed belief systems of external gods, angels, and demons. And historically, missionaries came around every country during colonization, imposing the beliefs of outer gods on native people with force and in education. Okay, so it all became about reward and punishment, the good and the evil, the bad and the good, and it was held in place by priesthoods. I'm going to draw a particular attention to the Babylonian priesthood, which I think a lot of things were written off these old historic Sumerian tablets. These were all bindings. They created systems of benevolent and malevolent gods in astrology. So astrology was used initially only by the priesthood. Now many people look at astrology. It can actually tell what's happened. I believe it's our consciousness that moves the different planets into place. So it's kind of secondary. But, you know, like just for example, some of the darkness, which is very much like satanic ritual abuse, the things that are in astrology, the myths and the gods that are behind some of these planetary things is like Inanna, which I think is connected to Venus, and how she goes into the underworld and gets hung on a meat hook. Now that's something that happens a lot in SRA. Many SRA people have had recounts of people hanging on meat hooks, being hung themselves on meat hooks. Terrible stuff. Then we've got Cronus, who was eating his children so he could maintain power, his own children, and that was connected to Saturn, where the cubic black cube sort of stuff has all come from. Then there's other stories. I'm not quite sure where Persephone fits in, but going to Hades, and something about someone else, and they have all their toes and fingers cut off, and it's like dismemberment, and these things are all very like satanic ritual abuse, which has been a foundation for energy harvesting that has been at the base of this whole slavery construct, which many people don't want to look at it because it's just so torturous, so barbaric. But you know, when you've been in it, you've just like, wow, I had to confront it. Okay, so we have the Gregorian calendar with ritual dates for sacrificing and energy harvesting from sacrifice. That is supposed to say, oh my gosh, I've actually lost the bottom of that. Okay, we've got timelines of imposition. Okay, so impositions are timelines. They're trajectories which our whole consciousness will go on, because an imposition has come. It's like we get stuck in time. It's like when trauma happens, everything slows down and we get stuck and lost in there. We get blocked in there and we're forever trying to undo this harm. Frequencies that perpetuate deceit, war and conflict. These frequencies that are coming from Saturn through the moon in various ways with geoengineering, all of these sorts of things. These frequencies activate different people. Okay, we've got division, the separation from the true source light. Okay, so it went to the false light. Okay, which they talk about Saturn being like the black sun. Okay, I think I should hold this up because for the rest of it, because I've lost some of it. Yeah, here we've got attachments, bindings, the chains of slavery. We've got deception and trickery, war and conflict, social conditioning. It's a false light trap, which mimics and replicates the source light artificially, but it is not the source light, and that is where it falls down. It is actually the source light which will transcend everything. It has the power over all of this paradigm, and we can break through. Priesthoods and religions perpetuate war of good and evil, warfare, exclusion of those with different beliefs and not love, and it's quite amazing. We've been in a patriarchy for a long time, and you'll see that in biblical scriptures, in the Christian faith, in the Christian religion, particularly through the King James Bible, which was written the year after demonology. But women always had to submit to men, had to be less to men, and it was always like the men were the ones that were given more will almost than women were. And yeah, so these priesthoods and religions, they perpetuate war of good and evil, exclusion. Then we have now we have different faiths where women have to completely cover up their clothes, their bodies, so as that the men are not excited or whatever, whereas these women used to be able to dress the way that they pleased and get around. But yeah, there's just all kinds of hidden stuff in there. And then you've got like the caste system in Hinduism. You've got the untouchables that are homeless and left, and nobody does anything about it because they say this is karma. This is like this karmic cycle. And then we've got like the bloodlines. We've got Solomon, we've got Merlin, we've got all the Rothschilds, we've got all the different bloodlines that see themselves as superior than someone else. No one else is more superior. No one. We're all equal and valuable souls. In fact, those that have claimed superiority often is because they've lost aspects of themselves and they need the energy of others to carry on. We've got the captivity, so then we have like the flat earth simulation as described in the Bible, where it talks about basically about the flat earth, and it's a simulation. And so we have lots of simulations in this whole paradigm. So yes, of course we can have flat earth and round earth and everything else, because there's so many simulations in there, just causing so much chaos because of the whole mentality of slavery, where people are just absolutely not connected to the source light. Okay, and then you've got your contracts, your liens, your covenants, legalities, your spell casting, and your false history. So it's all there. And like today is a day where, like it really dawned on me. I have beautiful friends I I cherish friends that I love, and some of these friends are very, very Christian, and then I get really let down, I guess, because you know, you're going along great and all that, because I've been in and out of Christianity. I've been in and out. There was a lot of religious programming put on me, but then what happened is that people started to sort of push scriptures at me, and I found my body reacting. It was like impositions from the outside, you know, whereas I have a meditation practice, which is just, it came because I was so sick and I needed to find out what the heck was going on with me. But, you know, like, I had started to get very used to finding all the answers from the source light that was within me, directly connected more with source and with nature, and then I'd get these scriptures, and then it's almost like, now that I am not believing that Jesus is the answer, Jesus is the way, because that's an outside influence that's outside of me, even though I acknowledge that, yes, there probably was an amazing man. I don't believe that he died for our sins. I don't even believe we have sins. I think sin and debt is part of the illusion of this old paradigm, and if he died for our sins and that, then why did a whole bunch of us have to go through SRA ourselves? Yeah, you know, there's been masters in life, yeah, for sure, but not demanding our worship, not demanding our praise, not demanding that we have to keep constantly reading a Bible, that we have to keep having this belief system imposed on us from outside through education, through social acceptance. Yeah, so what I find is that religions tend to divide people, and where is the love? And yet I've got other really beautiful Christian friends that are so inclusive, and they don't mind what the belief system is. They actually see the love and they see the light in all people, and they, you know, are aware that we're all finding our way, and really trying to break through and out of this slavery paradigm together. I mean, I've been so determined to try to find the answers, and you know, I do actually share them, because I think that it may help a few other people along the way. There's a lot of emphasis in this world that to look for similarities in people, and those are your people, yet actually it's the beauty of diversity, and that you know, like, I have friends which are so diverse to me, yet we can still see one another. We live quite differently. We've had completely different lives, yet we have this connection, which I treasure. And this is possible. So yeah, with 9 star, it's really about being the authentic star brightness that we are. And yeah, I hope this has been helpful for a few people. I know it is for me. I'll just share it anyway. Yeah, so much love to you.